A Smash player has been caught with a 12-year-old. Raise your hand if this story surprises you. No? No one? Yeah, me neither. Recent documents showed that the organizer Rectangle from Chicago was caught by police after hooking up with a 12-year-old from an 18-plus Discord server. You were on Discord to find a date and didn't expect to meet a 12-year-old? That's a first. Next, you're going to tell me my Roblox wife isn't actually an 18-year-old model from Los Angeles. In addition to that, we're also going to be talking about how the major Smash tournament Let's Make Moves, sponsored by Luminosity and ran by Max Ketchum, hired the scammer Littleteafox 2 months after I exposed that she was scamming people. She was photographed selling controllers inside the venue, and players even began promoting her work on social media. You almost have to applaud just how consistently terrible these people are. There's a response from her as well in the form of a document, but we'll get into all of that shortly. Before I'm forced to talk about the disgustingly incompetent Smash community yet again, I'm gonna need to recharge with a little snack. I'm feeling a little peckish. Nope, come on. Come on, Sponge. You know the deal. John, what are you doing?
Eating dinner.
John, that isn't dietitian approved! You know what that does to you!
Yeah, I know. It's just, I'm too busy with streaming. I just don't have anything that's quick and easy.
Why didn't you tell me that, John? You're telling me I could have told you about Factor this entire time? They have fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. You didn't know that?
No.
Wanna know what the best part is? They have a catalog of over 35 weekly options. They got Calorie Smart, Protein Packed, Vegan, Keto. They have it all.
I do care about the protein.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you do. But more importantly than that, there's no grocery trips, meal prep, and my favorite, no cleanup. I'm gonna have to clean that up, John, after the camera stops rolling. You made me do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right, John. You can make it up to me by clicking my link or this QR code to get 50% off your first box and free shipping.
Thanks.
No problem. Now clean this up.
What? Hey, what? Wait, didn't you say you were gonna clean it up?
No, I gotta get back to work.
Oh, yeah, sure, man. Yeah, that's cool, man.
So like I said, this document was posted by Rectangle's ex-roommate Tarian 2.5 years after it happened, because finally they weren't living together anymore. He didn't need to use his car to get to work, and I guess now he felt safe coming forward about it and no longer wants him in the community. And the reason I'm not in my usual investigative attire and brought back the classic beanie is because I don't need to research anything. I don't need to investigate. Rectangle responded to this document with a document of his own, basically admitting to everything. There's screenshots from Tarian that show the age, Rectangle shows conversations of his own, and there isn't a single claim being refuted across the board. I found myself inside of a Discord server meant for 18+ dating, which claimed to have age verification and everything. It claimed to have age verification. For those of you that don't know, age verification on Discord requires emailing Discord staff with a pic of yourself, a form of ID, and your username on a slip of paper. Think of like if you're doing an AMA on Reddit, except you're also doxing yourself.
Already some weird shit going on in this neighborhood because you know my neighbor is...
But usually, in most servers, it's just an unofficial self-flag role where everyone lies about their age anyways so they can avoid getting age restricted, just like when you make a YouTube account. Rectangle claimed that they used ID verification, but considering the fact that this girl was 12, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it functioned according to the latter, unless she had a fake ID. But to be fair, you have to be at least 13 to make a Discord account. I mean, it's been baked into the TOS since it launched in 2015, so obviously, there's no way a 12-year-old could be there in the first place. Did I mention I love Call of Duty?
That motherfucker is chasing you! Are you...
Personally, I'd love to know which Discord server this was to see their exact terms of service, but unfortunately, neither Rectangle nor Tarian mentioned a name, so kind of a dead end there. I could no longer trust my own judgment or any type of dating site, and especially not a Discord server for dating, ever again. I was able to learn where I went wrong in my actions leading up to my mistake, and no matter how anything went down in the end, it was my fault for not using my better judgment. What the fuck does this mean? Just check their ID. What do you mean you couldn't trust your own judgment? If you can't tell a 12-year-old from an adult just cause she's Asian, and your only answer is to drop dating entirely, I can think of a few things you need more than a therapist.
Go, 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 go! You got
And unless I'm missing something here, in none of these DMs where you're actually talking to her, did you ask for her age. Your first problem was using Discord. Your second problem is you clearly know nothing about Asian women. I love you and all my friends I've made from Iceland. I really hope you guys can give me the benefit of the doubt, because that situation does not define me, and it is not who I am. I have grown from it, and it is something that will never happen to me again. If you wanted to stay in the Smash community with all your friends, you should have just lied and said the 12-year-old blackmailed you. Or better yet, get the 12-year-old to agree to a cover story, and if that falls through, just have all your friends vouch that you're a good dude but can't explain how after you NDA them, and threaten the 12-year-old with a lawsuit they can't afford, and assure everyone of your airtight legal defense that will never see the light of day. Very simple protocol, but it seems fairly effective. Here we are now, almost 3 years later, and my hand has been forced to now publicly take accountability for it once more. Once more would insinuate that this was public to begin with, which it was not. My question to you is, how did you confirm that this happened with someone in DMs who then shared it to a VC of people and put it to a vote, and somehow nothing happened for over 2 years? Are these your friends from Iceland? Did the Chicago TOs know and just decided to do nothing about it? I'm joking around a little bit, but there is far more being covered up here than we're being told. We're not the community of sex offenders. We're just the ones who actually got rid of them. Okay, yeah, sure. How did they realize that this guy had sex with a 12-year-old and they just didn't do anything about it over like 2 years later? Like, what? What the fuck, dude? But because the parents don't want to press charges, which is exactly what happened in the Captain Zack situation with Nairo, it's insanely difficult to get anything done legally. The only saving grace is that Rectangle has obviously been banned and will be readmitting themselves to therapy in the meantime. But the fact that he was like 22 or 23, this happened in 2021 with a 12-year-old, nothing happened. This is really a cultural problem with Smash players, and it really makes me long for the days when all they were known for was smelling like shit. Moving on from that story, we have an update on our scammer friend who still seems to be getting work at Smash tournaments. For some reason. Seen in this photograph selling controllers at Let's Make Moves, she would later post an update to her followers regarding her controversial back orders. She starts off by mentioning how many controllers she sold over the years before admitting to having a back order problem, and how she shipped 50 back orders early September and had a friend playtest them for validity. She follows it up by saying, if you think that was possible to do all in 1 week because of a YouTube video that hadn't even dropped yet, it isn't. Funny you mention that, because you're right. It's highly unlikely you did all of that in 1 week. But I'd wager that you probably did most of it in 2 weeks. Given that I announced I was working on a video August 29th, your close friend messaged you on September 1st, and I emailed you weeks prior, the video wasn't the only thing pressuring you to get off your ass and do your job. Why would you send out 50 orders all at the same time right when I started working on a video if you worked on them all summer? I mentioned this before, but that doesn't make any fucking sense. Your late response and emotional manipulation by invoking suicidality is unsurprisingly also present here. The fact that you were bouncing an abusive relationship, went through a pandemic like literally everyone else, and faced eviction for painting in your garage is not an excuse for your poor margins, overselling, and non-existent time management. This is basic business. I'd also like to point out that you weren't even dating False, who is the alleged abusive relationship, by 2020. So to bring him up as an excuse 4 years later is laughable. Some people are upset I went on vacation last winter. You can be upset about that. You don't have to understand it, but I will be like any other person and take time off every year if I am able. Working every day of the year is abnormal, unrealistic, and unhealthy, and I don't think I should have to justify or explain that. Some people work hard jobs and maybe don't have the extra money to go on annual trips to Disneyland, Korea, or BTS concerts because they're either supporting themselves or a family. However, even without doing the job you were paid to do, you seem entitled to it. You know what's even more abnormal than working every single day of the year? Not finishing an order for 4 years. I'd venture to guess you don't even work half the year, let alone every single day. I can't lie and say I work 7 days a week. I'm a depressed person, and some days I can't move or take care of myself. Oh, well, there it is. Oh my fucking God, who cares? If I order something off of Amazon for $300 and they don't respond, refund, or send it to me in 4 years because they're in a dark place, I'm gonna make sure someone's in a dark place forever. You care more about farming sympathy than doing right by your customers. Just like how you made a new email specifically to improve your lack of communication, only to find out that it doesn't even exist. You couldn't even follow through on making a fucking customer service email. How dysfunctional and lazy can you possibly be? And to top it all off, there isn't a single offer for refunds for anyone in this entire post. You have no intention of making things right, your quality assurance is non-existent, and you don't even know if you're shipping to the right place because you can't even maintain an email for less than a month. The fact that Max Ketchum is still giving you work is a miracle. But if I'm being honest, you probably all deserve each other. Keep getting scammed, keep hiding child abuse, and I'll keep getting paid. I've been your host, Griff Nichols, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much to my patrons. That's a wrap for me. I swear I'm gonna switch it up from Smash. We'll do something else later, I promise. Maybe like Street Fighter, or Tekken, or Rivals 2.